Yo, what is up, guys? I know it has been quite a while since I came up here and did a video. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've been up here. I know, but I do have some content I plan on uploading soon. However, want to get on this here. I just finished watching the WWE, excuse me, Saudi Arabia show, Super Showdown. Just went off the air, not even 15 seconds ago. I was off from work today, so I was like, hey, I'll watch it. Despite the whole show, which I was kind of in and out because I was doing some house chores here around my home, I sat down and watched that Goldberg Bray Wyatt match just now. That was the one match that I want to sit down and watch. Excuse me. And holy shit, Goldberg is the new Universal Champion once again. Man, I don't know where to start with this. Because I know right now the internet, the wrestling fans, they are losing their shit. The Spotlight Facebook group page, 434 face group book page, Twitter. You're a wrestling fan. You watch WWE. You watch what's been going on. You've been following what's been going on surrounding the Bray Wyatt Goldberg match and the leaked information that Dave Meltzer gave out. People are losing their shits right now. They're losing their shit. And not in a positive way. Some like me, just kind of like, I don't care. But man, so Goldberg completely came out of left field of, him challenging for the Universal title. A couple of weeks ago, we all kind of thought, even I thought to an extent, Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg on paper doesn't really sound too intriguing. But I say, you know what? Maybe it's a legend for Bray Wyatt to get over as he continues to streak to WrestleMania as champion. Now, as the weeks began to pass, I kind of started to entertain the thought, what if Goldberg wins the Universal title? What if? WrestleMania has become a big spectacle to have big names, whatever the case may be. What if, even if it might not happen, what if Goldberg wins the Universal title? Then just last week, we had Dave Meltzer report on PW Insider that the SmackDown booking going into WrestleMania, which we all thought was going to be Bray versus Roman, has completely changed. It has been flipped. That it's going to be Goldberg versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title, and then instead it's going to be Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. Now, a lot of people at that point were kind of really skeptical at that point when that came out. Some people were calling, as they always do, the bullshit on Dave Meltzer. He's always wrong. He's always wrong. Like I said, the guy gets some things wrong, but like I said, some. He's made a career doing what he's done in the wrestling business, and he gets like 90% of his information is mostly correct. So for the 10% things that he gets wrong, clearly it does not outweigh the sources and the information that he gets out that ends up being right. Anyway, so leading up to this pay-per-view of the past week, people have really been concerned about, if that's going to be true. And a lot of people just kind of like, hey, you know what? Bray's going to win. They're not going to change anything. But then you start having the announcement of John Cena coming on SmackDown tomorrow night after the Super Showdown to have a big announcement. Because originally it was supposed to have been John Cena versus the Drifter for WrestleMania. And, for a guy like John Cena, like him or hate him, he's a big star. And for him to wrestle against the Drifter at WrestleMania, it's a waste of John Cena's time. So, having that come out, a lot of people were worried about this show. Getting to the show happens. Goldberg hits Bray Wyatt with 4 spears. Bray Wyatt tried a couple of mandible claws, but to no avail. Goldberg attempts to lift him up with a half-ass spear. I don't want to say really half-ass, because Bray Wyatt's a husky guy, and yeah, like Goldberg physically looks great, for a guy who's now like 52, 53 maybe, but he may be strong, but Goldberg's not like Goldberg from 1998 WCW Nitro Strong. He's not a young man anymore. So him trying to pick up a big husky dude like Bray Wyatt, who has lost a lot of weight and looks great physically, he looks great, but he's still a little husky boy. He's a little beefcake. And Goldberg kind of struggled a little bit trying to lift him up. So it was a half-ass jackhammer, but he pinned him and he won. He won. Bray Wyatt got up immediately, so kind of like somewhat no-sold. I guess you could say maybe the jackhammer. The lights go out. He stares at Goldberg. Lights go out. They come back on. Bray Wyatt's gone. He disappears. So he's like in and out, and Goldberg like celebrates with the crowd, and it goes off the air. Now, a lot of people right now are pissed about this because they feel like Bray Wyatt is one of the most unique characters that WWE original characters has come up with in a long, long time, which I agree, and that they've built him up, and that they screwed him up again and having a moment at WrestleMania, and they feel like he's gotten buried. I'll tell you this right now. I don't think Bray Wyatt got buried in this match. You guys know I'm a Goldberg fan. I love Goldberg. Seeing him win the title, I did pop a little bit. I'm not going to lie on that. I'm not going to lie. Goldberg doesn't need the title, but I did pop for that. He's one of my favorite wrestlers growing up as a kid. So I am a fan of Goldberg, as well as I'm a fan of Bray Wyatt. But I don't think Bray Wyatt was buried in this, and here's why. Bray Wyatt didn't get squashed. The match itself lasted like maybe about 3 minutes, maybe 4. But I don't think Bray Wyatt got squashed in this match at all. He took 4 spears. He got a half-ass jackhammer. He got in some sort of offense on Goldberg. But the moment, even in his loss, it really didn't feel like Bray was... I don't feel like Bray was, like, defeated. He didn't feel defeated, like he was ruined. It just felt like, hey, they just did a quick work here just to get the belt off of Bray and put it on Goldberg. That's really what it just felt like. They just needed to do something real quick to take the blueberry strap off of Bray and put it on Goldberg going into WrestleMania. Does Bray Wyatt, at this point, you can pretty much argue, does he really need the championship? Because his character is so unique and so different from anybody on that brand, on that roster, does Bray Wyatt really need the championship right now? Now, at the point when he was chasing Rollins, yes, because at that point, WWE, they booked themselves in a corner where when Bray Wyatt came back on the scene in this new gimmick, he, after like, 1 or 2 matches, he immediately shot up to the top for a Universal match, a title. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that when they booked themselves in a corner. So when they put Bray in that position, then yes, Bray should have been champion. But, after being champion for about like 4 months or whatever, do I feel like Bray is defeated? Do I feel like his character is ruined? No. I feel like right now his character is strong enough, and the way that he lost, I don't feel like he was really hurt. I don't feel like his character was hurt or damaged. Unlike, say, the Ricochet Brock Lesnar match earlier on in the Super Showdown, that was a fucking squash. Brock Lesnar beat Ricochet in under 2 minutes, like a minute 50, something like that. Someone had recorded a minute 50. That was a squash because he got no offense at all with Ricochet. You look at the Goldberg Bray Wyatt match, different. That it was different. I don't feel like Bray was hurt in this match at all, and I'm going to be in the minority because I know a lot of people are really pissed off right now and feel like Bray Wyatt got snipped. But I feel like this. Look, if he drops the belt to Goldberg and his next feud is John Cena, that's a good how should I say, replacement or a good alternative to go into in WrestleMania. Because let's be honest, what would you rather have? Because if Bray had that belt and he fought Roman Reigns as it was originally planned going to WrestleMania, Roman Reigns would have beaten him. And you would have been pissed. So, what makes better sense in the long run? Roman Reigns beats Bray Wyatt for the title, or you just get the belt off of Bray in the fashion that they did, where I feel like it didn't really hurt Bray, but you just got the belt off of him really quick, and he feuds with John Cena and gets his win back from John Cena. Because remember, ever since Bray Wyatt lost to John Cena at their first encounter at WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt never recovered. He never recovered from that. So now that he's got this new character, this new gimmick, he's got, some new fire, Bray Wyatt can get that win back and he can right the wrongs and rewrite the wrongs against John Cena at WrestleMania. I think I'd rather take option C. And for as many people that hate Goldberg, okay? I'm sorry. For as many people that are upset of this outcome, they're going to dislike Goldberg being champion. So, you put Goldberg in there with the Roman Reigns, and from WWE's perspective, if Roman Reigns fought Bray and took the strap off him, Roman Reigns would have got booed out the building. But since you put it on a part-timer like Goldberg, fans are going to already kind of turn, because fans were beginning to turn on Goldberg the first time he won the Universal title when he took it off of, Kevin Owens 2 or 3 years ago. So now that you have Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, people are going to be a little bit more reluctant in cheering and standing behind Roman Reigns because now they're pissed off that Goldberg took the strap off of Bray Wyatt and they don't want Goldberg have the title. To me, I think from a booking perspective, I think that's smart. On WWE's end. So yeah, this is going to be the WrestleMania. And it's kind of interesting, because there have been talks as well of WWE or Vince McMahon saying that he's going to be selling off some of the WWE pay-per-views off to bigger streaming services. So if you want to, I guess you could say advertise a WrestleMania to a potential streaming service buyer like ESPN Plus, which is in talks of being one of the platforms, you're going to need some big names. You're going to need some big stars. And I love Bray Wyatt. And I love a lot of the talent that's on the current roster. But, if WWE wants to appeal to, the buyers that be, the powers that be, that might be interested in buying some of these pay-per-views on their streaming networks, you need the star power. And going in there with having both Goldberg and Brock Lesnar as your respective world champions from the different brands, that's a draw. I'm sorry for anyone that hates those two guys as part-timers, but they are draws, and that's a draw, having those two going into your pay-per-view as champion. And on the flip side of that, you have a rising star in McIntyre that could be crowned the new champion, and then you'll have a Roman Reigns who people by default would end up cheering for and beating Goldberg for the title. So from a business standpoint, it's kind of somewhat of a win-win. I understand it, but I know a lot of people aren't going to think of that logically as I do. You guys let me know what you think about this. Do you agree or disagree with my opinions? I'll hear your thoughts in the box below. Do yourself a favor, hit that like button, and subscribe. Peace out, and I am coming back with some more content because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about in regards to WWE and AEW as well. So look forward to those guys. I'll be sending those out pretty soon, within the next day or two. Bet. Peace out.